Hello and welcome to Underground Examination. My name is Kate Britton and I am here today with Micheal Daughtry and The Drift. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Thank you so much.
All right. So, really excited you guys are here today. Really glad to have you. Real quick, just kind of a preface. So, are you North Carolina born and raised?
Yes, both of us are North Carolina born and raised. I was born in a small town called Newton Grove in Sampson County. Beasley was born in E-Town? Elizabethtown, a.k.a. E-Town, over in Bladen County. So
small town guys originally.
Absolutely.
Originally. And how did you guys come together?
Actually, Beasley we had like an audition type process where I've been playing sort of on and off with several fellas over the years, and I've heard of Beasley in certain bands and projects and things like that over the years, but never actually played with him. And he sort of came out of, were you in semi-retirement? I don't know. He was sort of semi-retired from music anyway, and kind of came out of retirement for us.
So Beasley is kind of the man, the myth, the legend. Basically.
Yes.
Awesome. Just take that and run with it. Run with it forever.
Oh, yeah.
Run with it. So you're obviously Micheal Daughtry. So how did you get The Drift?
So the name The Drift, I like names that kind of have multiple meanings. So I kind of feel like the way, and with the musicians that we're working with now, they just sort of like came about. It wasn't like a forced thing, but at the same time, there was a pull towards these musicians. So there's that meaning, and there's also just the general drift, like, you get my drift kind of thing. So we just thought it was a great name, kind of fitting for us and where the music is heading at this moment.
So the movement, it's kind of the drift of life,
Absolutely.
kind of deeper meaning.
Yes. Multi-layered.
So how would you describe the style of music that you play?
Well, I think we have sort of a high energy sound. It's sort of in the rock pop vein, if you will. In general, it's sort of, like upbeat type stuff. So in general, I mean, we have our range and our spectrum of emotion, but I would kind of generally categorize it like that.
You can't be all rise all the time.
No. You gotta have some down time, to appreciate the higher energy stuff. So.
Well, I'm excited to hear what you guys have for us today. So this first song you're singing is called Belong, I believe. So I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and take it away. All right.
Thank you so much. Set it off. That keep us where we ought to be. There's a world full of trouble and a technical juggle, but why do you refuse to see? There's a new day, a new way just coming to you. Can I get my life in your attitude? Then I'll see you, really see you, and I must move on. Well, I love the way that you try to make me feel 'Cause I love the way you try to make me feel like I belong. And I love the way when things get rough, you shield me with that beautiful song. I don't like the way that you set me right, just in case I'm wrong. But I love the way that you feel like I belong. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got Monday or Tuesday, there's one more get through day until my heart can feel the fall. Oh, 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 oh. But I get some kind of nervous. Well, do I deserve us? The questions slow me to a crawl. Oh, 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 oh,
Not bad. Not bad. No, I'm kidding. It was really good. I enjoyed it so much. I love it.
Thank you.
No problem. So, so obviously you both have a passion for music. So I'm gonna ask you both. Starting with you, Michael. So when did you discover that music was what you wanted to do?
I have been music's been in my blood probably my whole life. I know that I started around 3 or 4 years old writing really bad songs. My first song, and I like to perform it for you all now, it's called Woo Woo Woo, and it sounds like this. Woo, 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 and mommy and daddy too. So
That actually sounds like a lot that you can hear on the radio nowadays.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
about that. I think it's the woo.
hope y'all like that.
I loved that. Can I get just a recording of that just for me?
Sure you can, Kate. Yeah, anytime.
Yes, my life has been made. All right, Beasley, what about you?
Well, I would say it's probably my whole life too. I would watch my mother practicing or playing piano in the house, but I had cousins that were from New Jersey, and we know how much great rock came out of New Jersey. So
Bruce.
yeah, from Bruce to Bon Jovi, I guess. So in the 70s, we would all meet up at my grandmother's in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and we would stay 2, 3, 4 weeks together. They'd bring all their records and their guitars down and show me all this music that was not making it to small town North Carolina. So I guess I had the bug at an early age, and it never left.
So did you come from a musical family?
Just my mom. My dad always said he couldn't even play a radio without getting static. So, you know.
That's not good. That's not a good way. That's not how you want radio playing to kind of go. It's
Yeah, but he's still going. He'll be 87 in April, so
good for him. Good for him.
not playing music has prolonged his life.
It's the key for some people.
That's right.
It's the fountain
Yeah.
of youth for some people and anti-fountain of
It's
youth.
like I don't play music,
yeah.
and that's it's like what's
You
your?
enjoy it.
But I love it.
There you go.
No, I sing, so just some. So I'm a musical theater nerd. Okay, so what about you? Did you come from like a particularly musical family?
I feel like I did. Both sides of my family. So my grandma played piano a lot, and she was the one that sort of like encouraged me to take lessons. From being from small town, you know, we didn't have the opportunity to play guitar until like around middle school, high school, which is when I started playing guitar. But piano was like the first thing. And my mom was actually in Beasley doesn't know this. My mom was in a folk group that was at Campbell University, like in the 60s. So, you know. I don't even remember the name. She told me about it, and it's like she didn't even tell me the story about it until I started getting into music myself. I think she didn't want me to get into it unless I personally wanted to get into it. But yeah, I feel like music is in my family. So yeah.
You talk about like a folk group in the 1960s. All I can think of is like Christopher Guest's "A Mighty Wind" or something like that.
It was very Peter, Paul, and Mary-ish, and her being the Mary type, you know. So yeah, yeah.
So when it comes to writing songs, where do you get your inspiration from? And I know that this next song, "Hey Little League," there's kind of a story behind that. But do you just pull from experience, or?
I tend to pull from either experience, personal experience. Sometimes there's a blend of personal experience and maybe stories or things that I hear happen to other people that I feel like are important or impactful in life. So there's, I feel like I kind of draw from everything, but I tend to, because of the music being a little more high energy, I tend to gravitate towards subject matter that is very a little more like impactful or like important events and things like that. So
All right, so let's hear this next song. I'm excited. Hey, Little League.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
so yeah, this song was inspired by watching my nephews play Little League baseball. It's actually about Little League baseball.
Hey, Little League, play a game for me. Tell me what you say. Batter up again, batter for the win. Hey, I'm alive when you come alive. Heads up, fly ball, another run, get another one. The innings are up and the bases are loaded. Then things get emotional. That's enough time to shake every hand good night. You've got the heart of a lion. Fight back the tears of a child and do it all again. 'Cause how this game plays out, that's all that will count. That will count. Hey, Little League, make a memory, make me wanna stay till summer bends or the season ends. They're polishing up all the plates of the diamonds. Oh, when everything is shining, fever pitch, that's a curveball and it's on fire. You're alive. Going wild. Just sticking out like your sore thumb now. You came to play your heart out. The umpire calls that home. Jump up and down. Hey, Little League, make a memory, make me wanna stay till the summer bends. Out for the win. Hey, I'm alive when you come alive. Heads up, fly ball. Get it now. Get it now.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
It gave me
Thank
kind of
you.
a nostalgic, like summertime feeling.
Yeah. It's very summer camp kind of. It's that time of year. It's that mood. So
It definitely captures it.
Thank
It certainly captures it. So I know this is kind of like the question that songwriters always get: music or lyrics first.
Oh, that's a great question. I usually come up with the music first. I want to say that that song that we just did, "Hey Little League," I think it started out as "Hey Emily," and then I was like, no, I just didn't feel like that was the subject matter. So yeah, I usually come up with the music and maybe words that don't end up being about what the song's about. So yeah, it's a little bit like, I know Paul McCartney was famous for saying scrambled eggs for the song Yesterday. Instead of yesterday, he started out like scrambled eggs. Da, 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 da. So yeah, it's kind of like that. I usually come up with music first.
Well, scrambled eggs doesn't really hold the same weight, I don't think, than yesterday. It doesn't. It just doesn't really work with it.
Yeah.
So, what kind of information? What's the word I'm looking for? Advice would you give to like young artists trying to make it into the music industry?
I would suggest starting with like going to open mics. Those are great opportunities to sort of test your ability to play in front of other people and sort of see the reaction that your songs will produce with people, because there's those people aren't really there to see you, but at the same time, there's a support system that's there. So I really recommend that. That's sort of how I got my start, was like just going to various open mics. The funny thing about open mics too is that even if you're sort of far along in your career, I mean, Prince, from what I heard, would go to an open mic. And so, you have artists that maybe are far along. Open mics are a great way to start, in my opinion.
And it's a good way. It's a very intimate kind of thing. It's a good way to connect with your audience.
Yeah. I've actually gotten gigs and opportunities and helped out other musicians. It's sort of like you see what's coming along, and it's a good community feel for musicians.
So how long has this band been together?
Well, in this version, about a year and a half, maybe close to that amount of time. So I've been playing for a few years.
Just a couple.
Yeah,
Just a
and
couple.
Beasley has as well. So yeah.
So did you start out drumming, or is that?
No, I started out taking piano lessons as a kid. Same as, small town America.
Yeah,
that's all you have. There was no drummers to teach you how to do things, at least not what I wanted to play. And I didn't know guitar teachers, so you started on piano, which I think is a great foundation instrument. A lot of drummers start out on drums, but I think if you start out on another instrument, you kind of have an understanding on what the other people in the band have to go through.
That's very true. And piano is kind of a percussion instrument in a way. In a way. So you've got another song for us coming up, and this one is Sidewinder.
That's right.
So I was sitting here, I was like, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Well, it worked out because you said Sidewinder, and it works out very well to say it that way.
I meant for it. That was, for anyone watching, that was planned. So anyway, take it away.
Thank you.
Trying to think of a time to complete the unwind. You're trying to sneak, but I notice you here. Never mind. Leave me alone. Calm and serene is a smile, but sooner or later you'll rise up and slide away slow. Slither sidewinder. Lay so low and with a sidewinder. Whoa, then let me go. Let me go. Beautiful words like a butterfly dream. They take their flight, then they're gone till tomorrow. Well, too bad I heard what my insides were screaming tonight. Leave me alone. Well, don't come around. Shake off that skin that surrounds you and leave it right here where I found you and slide away slow. Slither sidewinder. Lay low with a sidewinder. Slide away so low. Slither sidewinder. Lay so low
Very nice. Very nice.
you.
I'm loving
Thank
it. So we were talking a little bit about like inspiration and things like that. Okay, so if you could perform, and this is going to be for both of you, so Beasley, you're next. So I want you to think long and hard. Okay, so if you, two questions. If you could perform any gig anywhere, where would you want to perform?
Probably on I think it's called Later with Jules Holland. That is like a dream. That would be such a cool venue because they have the giant, for those who aren't familiar, it's like a giant circular stage. All the bands and artists are sort of like in a circle. So it's sort of like a songwriters in the round thing for full bands. So for a musician, it's like a dream come true. So I would say Later with Jules Holland. And if y'all don't know about that show, check it out. You know, I definitely... Yeah, they usually do at least 3 or 4 bands sometimes. And then they'll interview like a classic rock or maybe a producer or somebody that's been in the music biz for like decades and decades. So it's, you know, just talking about that show is exciting.
You're just like, ah.
Yeah, I would
Well,
love to
look,
do that.
we'll pretend. We'll
Yeah,
just
let's
we'll pretend.
Yeah.
Can we get Drew? Can we get a circular? No. Okay, we can't do that. But we'll make believe. We'll make believe.
yeah.
We'll make believe. And if you could perform with anyone, any artist, who would that be?
Oh wow, that's a really tough one.
Alive or dead?
Alive or dead? That's
I just made it harder.
That's even that's like a whole other level. I would probably say I would have to go with Prince. He would, I would, of course, just play chords in the background and let him do his thing, you know?
And just watch and be like,
Just watch, yeah.
that's Prince.
Yeah, amazing.
Let's go crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good stuff, all of it. His range of songs are just like everywhere, so.
Prolific.
Yeah,
Prolific.
that's it.
That's the only word I think I can use really to describe him. Okay, Beasley, your turn. So your turn on the hot seat. This is the hot seat, apparently. Okay, so if you could perform any gig anywhere, where would it be?
I've never put much thought into that because there's so many iconic venues now, but maybe someplace like the Ryman in Nashville. Yeah, any type of old venue that has such great acoustics but such history behind it, I think that would be awesome.
And if you could perform with any artist, alive or dead. I'm sorry. The face. No, don't give the face. That makes me feel terrible. I'm sorry. This is torture. I'm sorry. But I have to ask, alive or dead, if you could perform with any artist, who would it be?
I'm a fan of so many. I guess maybe we should go with dead because in my mind, maybe there's still a chance to perform with the ones that are still alive. Maybe Bowie in the 70s, Ziggy Stardust era. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of incredible.
I'd say something like Led Zeppelin because I couldn't take John Bonham's place.
No.
Play tambourine over on the side. Yeah,
Cowbell.
just to be that's right. We need more cowbell.
We always need more cowbell. We always, yes, always. So, so if you had any advice, like I said, so we have, so for young songwriters, like so I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm trying to say. We're talking about advice for songwriters, and the music industry is tough. You know, it's kind of notoriously difficult. What kind of, what's the worst thing and like the best thing about working in the music industry?
Well, I tend to sort of pick it's micro things as opposed to macro things. I don't like to do general things with this type of question because my opinion about the best and worst of this changes kind of daily. But I'll pick a few things. Some of the best best things about performing would be is that the fact that you never know who's out there. You never know who is listening to your music and being affected by it. That could be just general people, everyday people. It's also really cool. I've had a few like sort of celebrity sightings in the audience as I'm playing, and you know that is like the sweet stuff when you feel like, and especially if that artist likes what you do and is very complimentary, that's always like a great thing. A bad thing, and I hope I'm not taking Beasley's answer because this is something as sort of more an loading and unloading of equipment.
Oh. It's the grunt work. That's the grunt work.
Yeah.
That's the grunt work. So what about you? What's the best thing and the worst thing about working in the music industry?
The best thing, well, just getting to perform in front of people, and even for myself, just at least for 2 hours, I get to take myself out of reality for a while. But it's just fun. It's cathartic. So
If it's not fun, why would you do it?
I'm sure it makes me a nicer person.
So that being said, what is like the most frustrating thing?
The pay can be kind of frustrating, I think one frustrating thing is in this day and age with whether it's music, writers, whatever, people expect things for free. If a painter painted you a nice, expensive painting, you wouldn't expect that guy to give it to you for free. But in this day and age, people think that music and basically art in general should be free. And that's something that kind of needs to be changed, I think.
All good things come at a price.
That's right.
So anyway,
Get what you pay for.
so I think we have time for one more song, real quick. And
Make it short.
yeah, and what? So what's the name of this song?
This is House Was a Home.
House Was Home. And okay, so one of my dream gigs and venues is being a host on Saturday Night Live.
No, that's
So can I
was
just-
almost gonna say that.
Can I just real quick just like introduce you like I
Go
was the
for
host?
it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Micheal Daughtry and the Drift.
We just left it, we best get a hold of ourselves. With our loved ones at bay, we display need and help. Well, I'm shaking at the knees, you were off and running, and I feel like such a tool. This house was a home. Oh no, I won't, darling, I won't. Oh no, I won't let it burn to the ground. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What we need is a seed that can grow anywhere. Be it sun, rain, or drought, it would sprout if we'd share, yeah. I'm shaking at the knees, you were off and running, and I feel like a fool. This house was a home. Oh no, I won't, darling, I won't. Oh no, I won't let it burn to the ground. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No, 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 no. Yes, I'm shaking at the knees, 'cause you were up and running, feeling like a fool. This house was a home. Oh no, I won't, darling, I won't. Oh no, I won't let it burn to the ground. Oh no, I won't, darling, I won't. Oh no, I won't let it burn to the ground. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm so glad you guys have been here today. Real quick, just in case, anyone who's watching this, or like me, where can we find more information about your music and upcoming gigs and things like that?
So we are on Bands in Town, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reverb Nation, all of those things, SoundCloud. The social media handle is Micheal Daughtry Music. Of course, if you do Micheal Daughtry and the Drift, you can find us through that as well. And
Spotify.
Spotify.
Always. And do you have any new projects in the work right now?
Yes, we're actually in the process of recording a new EP, possibly LP, and we're working on getting those in vinyl. We're working on brand new music that we're extremely excited about.
Well, I'm excited to hear it when you guys are ready to come out with it. So anyway, thank you guys for being here today. So Micheal Daughtry and the Drift.
Thank you, Kate.
And This has been great. So thank you for watching Underground Examination. I'm Kate Britton. We will see you next time.